Welcome to Tori Talks TV, and welcome to our review of Stranger Things Season 3. Could you tell?
Well, welcome to Starcourt Mall.
Welcome back to the 80s, everybody. Okay, so Stranger Things Season 3. Good job, guys. Good job, Duffer Brothers. So
we waited so long.
I know, and it was worth the wait.
Yes.
So Episode 1
yes.
Is called, by the way, Susie, Do You Copy? You know, it just brings back our usual suspects. And we get to get reacquainted with everybody.
Yes.
The kids have grown up a little bit.
They have.
The boys' voices are cracking. It's so
Puberty
cute.
has struck.
Yes, exactly. And, you know, Mike and Elle have gotten kind of close. They're, like, making out all the time.
They're, like, making out all... Did it make you a little bit uncomfortable?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I was just like, chill out, people.
Yeah.
The hormones are raging.
I know.
In these children. Children!
They're still children, guys.
Yes.
And Hopper's obviously not happy about it.
I didn't blame him.
You know, obviously, he's, like, adopted Elle as his own daughter. Yeah. And I like how he's like, keep the door open, like 3 inches. Anyway, and then it's funny because, like, she can do her little magic powers to, like, shut the door. And then by the time he gets there, they're like, what? We're just studying?
I know. That's
what's
cool.
wrong.
Imagine if you had that power.
Oh, come
amazing.
on. I know. But yeah, so, of course, it wouldn't be Stranger Things if we didn't, like, have that portal open. Of course, it starts out with those weird, creepy Russians in their little hazmat-looking suits.
Yes.
And they're opening the portal.
Why would you open the portal?
Well, okay, so we see that they're actually in Russia. And so, I don't know if they're using this for some kind of, like, weaponry. I don't know. Weaponry?
Weaponry?
Sure. Yes, exactly. So, they're trying to get back to the Upside Down world, and for what, obviously, they have their reasons. But yeah, like, there's a whole bunch of people talking Russian. Yeah. Thank you for that. So, anyway, here we go again. We thought that it was done, but nope. Back to the usual. So, we see Max and Lucas, who are dating.
They're adorable.
Adorable, yeah. And then there's Will. Sweet Will Byers, who has been through so much.
He's just for life traumatized, which rightfully so. I mean, how do you ever get over being like
sucked into that world?
Yes, taken in and
manipulated.
Like what's it called? Like they overtook him, possessed.
Yes, exactly. I know he's traumatized. Poor kid. Yeah. But then what's really cool is at this little shop at the Starcourt Mall, called Scoops Ahoy, we see Steve, who we know from before, and a new character, Robin. Robin!
Who, you know, typically when you introduce a new person to the fold, you're a little, like, skeptical
like, who are you?
Dude, she had me from, like, the first second.
I freaking love Robin.
From like, hi, I see you on screen, you're adorable.
Probably my favorite character of Season 3 of Stranger Things.
For sure.
Which is why I wanted to pay tribute to her.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. And can we talk about Robin?
Let's talk about Robin.
Great. So, you know, let's just go a little behind the scenes fun fact trivia. Who are her parents?
Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman. Adorable.
You don't even need it, though. You're going to be great. You're going to go far in the acting world. She is awesome. So anyway, okay, so we introduced a new character. We also get to see Lucas's little sister, Erica. What's her little thing? She goes, you can't spell America without Erica. I was like, mind blown. You're right. You can't.
She likes to always make fun of Lucas for being a nerd. Nerd.
But she, in fact, may be a nerd herself. She's sassy.
She is. I love her. I love that they, like, highlighted her this season. Yeah. We needed that.
Yeah, any kind of comic relief is great. Because this show gets scary.
It is dark.
So, okay. So then all of a sudden we see, like, these rats.
The rats.
In this, like, abandoned building. And they're, like, being attacked by something. I don't know. It's we don't know yet. It's still episode 1, so we don't really know what's going on. But rats are involved.
Yes.
Perfect. And then we see him start to, like, grab the back of his neck, like the hair
shivers, like hairs are standing.
It's like, this is familiar.
Like the literal, like the hairs in the back of your neck are standing up.
Yeah, so we're like, wait a minute. And then it even he has, like, visions and flashbacks of when he was in the Upside Down, being manipulated or whatever he was. Yeah. And then there's, like, this weird thing where Joyce Byers, his mom, like, she notices magnets are falling from her refrigerator. Okay, what's happening?
Is it a big deal? Is it not?
We're just trying to figure out.
Thinks it probably means something.
Right, exactly. And then we see Nancy and Jonathan are working for the Hawkins Post, the paper. That's really sad to see Nancy and all the sexism that probably really did happen in the 80s. you know.
Those dudes are terrible to her.
Gary Busey's son?
Yeah.
Jake Busey? Yeah!
I see
it
it.
familiar?
Yes.
Yeah, he's in it. And then Dustin, sweet Dustin, is back from camp where he says that he met a girl named Susie.
Susie, do you copy?
Right. And he's like, she's like Phoebe Cates, which is like so cute, the 80s reference. And they're like, yo, okay, Dustin. Like, nobody believes him.
Poor Dustin.
I know, always, right? And then I just want to talk about something that I feel icky about.
Yes.
So Billy is a lifeguard.
Yeah.
Billy is Max's older brother, and he's a total jerk. But what a babe.
Yeah, he is. I know.
So glad you said it,
because he's like Rob Lowe, right?
Oh, good comparison. Because
Mm-hmm.
he's only supposed to be like, what, 20, 22, 23?
Yeah, like barely a little bit older than Max.
He's young.
Mm-hmm.
He's jailbait. He's jailbait, guys. He's looking good as a lifeguard.
The moms are like,
and they took notice.
Here he comes. The lifeguards, because did you know the lifeguards have to change shifts every like 15 minutes?
Is that like because they're gonna get burnt or
it's
something?
Like, no, so that they don't like get like complacent.
Oh. Like they zone out
they
or
don't
something?
so they need to change. So like the moms are like, oh, it's time for the change of the guard.
Here comes Billy. Including the Wheeler, Mrs. Wheeler.
Nancy's mom.
Nancy's mom. Nancy and Mike. Yeah. She's all about
had a
him.
great side pony.
She was looking good.
She was looking good.
Go Mrs. Wheeler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you can see that it's like very seductive. And he's like,
Yes.
what's up, Mrs. Wheeler? He calls her Mrs. Wheeler, which is like kind of like strangely sexy.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like Mrs. Robinson.
The last season, I was not feeling him at all.
No, because he's
and then this season,
jerk. Well, he's just like really looking great.
What happened? He looks the same though.
Isn't that weird? And he's still a jerk, and he's still pompous.
I don't know. Anyways, we should probably move on.
Yeah, we should. So anyway, that episode ends with like Billy, his car breaks down, like he gets hit by something, and then like he shows up at that like abandoned building where the rats were, and he's like, "What's going on?" And he's pulled away, and we're like, oh, "What happened to you?" He's like pulled down a staircase. I have no idea. Okay,
and it ends.
Yeah. So then now we have to go to episode 2, which is called The Mall Rats.
The Mall Rats.
I see what you did there. Because, the mall, there's rats, there's a lot going on. So it picks up where the last episode left off. Billy is in this place, and he looks a little disheveled and, like, still looks good.
He looks good, though.
But, yeah, he's, like, trying to ask for help. He somehow ends up in the Upside Down world. And he sees himself in the Upside Down world?
Yes.
I'm getting confused, but obviously things are happening. It is
a little disorienting.
Yeah.
Intentionally.
Exactly. So then we see Hopper and Joyce, besties. So with the Starcourt Mall opening up, the downtown area is suffering a little bit.
Yes. The mom and pop shops are being threatened by the mall culture.
Right, exactly.
That's a real thing in the 80s.
Yeah. So Hopper, he's going to visit Joyce, and he's talking about how he's not approving of Mike and Elle making out so much. We aren't either.
And she gives him advice, right? She's cute. Like, have a talk with them.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay. He like takes notes.
Yeah, she's like write it down. Yeah. Like have a heart to heart. He's like, what's a heart to heart? Because it's Hopper. He's like,
he's like a macho,
right,
sweaty dude.
But it was really cool to see that little bonding experience. And again, the magnets at her store. They're on the floor or something. Anyway, there's something with magnets is what we're supposed to know at this point. Yeah. So anyway, then we meet another new character who's the mayor, Mayor Klein, played by Carrie Elwes. Where have you been, hi. Princess Bride? Wesley. Do you guys remember him?
Yes.
I do. He still looks good. Yeah, but he's always playing these like bad guys. Yeah. So he is I'm guessing it has something to do with all this. He's
up to no good.
He's in bed with those Russians. That's what I'm gonna guess. But anyway, yeah. So Nancy and Jonathan. Let's go back to the rats because this is titled Mall Rats. There's something going on with rats because they get like a tip from a Mrs. Driscoll. And she's like, "There's this rat in my basement, and he's like acting really weird and strange." And Nancy's like on top of it. She's like, "I got this." So they go and they like investigate. And the rat is acting.
It's acting really weird. It's like in a cage. Is it in the cage at this point?
Yeah, it's in a cage.
And it's like rabid.
Yeah, and he's like knocking himself.
It's acting crazy.
I mean, Nancy knew it all along. She knew something was up. Like I was like, I wouldn't go investigate a story about a rat acting weird. Like that's not. But she's got. I feel like she feels like she has to prove herself to these men in that world. And Jonathan's like, just leave it alone. Whatever. All right, so let's talk about Dustin and Steve.
Okay.
Okay, because they have the cutest relationship. It's like brotherly.
Yes.
Okay. Because, so like, let's go back to the first season when I didn't want to like Steve. But then he ended up being really cool.
Yeah, because the hair was really, like, obnoxious.
It was all about the hair.
There's no way we can like this dude.
Yeah, no. But then he is almost like the big brother to Dustin. Mm-hmm. Really cute. And he, like, would, like, sneak them in the back to go see movies at the Star Court. Yeah. So that's super cute.
Their little reunion is so cute. When they're like,
I know.
It was cuter than when the rest of their friends.
That's true. It was more memorable than all the other ones. Yeah. So, basically, Dustin, when he was trying to talk to his love, Susie, it's like some weird contraption that he made on the top of a hill. He's trying to get in touch with her.
Like a super high tower.
Yeah.
And they all went with him, and they were like, okay,
they constructed it.
Maybe
Susie's real. Yeah.
Poor Dustin, though. They totally doubted him. Like, there's no way he could have a girlfriend who looks like Phoebe Cates. Felt a little bad for Dustin.
I did, too. Yeah. Still believe him, though, at this point. So I guess in the midst of him trying to get in contact with her, he intercepts a Russian signal. Mm-hmm. And he's like, what's this all about? Mm-hmm. So Robin, hi guys, Robin, she's like bored out of her mind at this Scoops Ahoy place working with Steve. And she's like, Russian? She's like, I speak like 3 languages. Like, I'm really good with,
And they used that little, like, dictionary.
Yes!
The Russian-English dictionary.
Right, exactly. So they are trying to figure out exactly what they're saying. And I have it here. Yes. I'll tell you.
Yes.
It takes a long time.
Yes.
Which, is drawn out a little bit. But they do eventually figure out what it is. Okay, everybody, ready?
Ready.
It is, the week is long, the silver cat feeds, when blue meets yellow in the west, a trip to China sounds nice, if you tread lightly. What the heck? And, like, the escape room addict in me was like, you guys, I got this. Like, you decide. Like, I'm going to figure this out. I had no idea. You're not supposed to. We're not supposed to know what's going on. But it's cool. So we have Dustin and Steve and Robin working together. Robin is proving herself to be a super cool chick.
Yeah.
Right? We like her a lot.
Yes, super cool.
Yeah. But meanwhile, there's drama. There's are they tween at this point?
They're tween.
They're tween. Elle and Mike not doing great. Because Max is like, you don't need a man. Like, don't let him tell you what to do. Because Hopper, like, took Mike aside and was like, you need to back off from a girl.
He did not do the speech.
What he said he was
going to do. The talk that Joyce was like, give him a heart-to-heart. He did not do the heart-to-heart. Right. He instead used police brutality. Brute force.
Scare tactic.
Threats.
Scare tactic.
Basically was like, in short, I will hurt you if you continue to make out with my daughter.
You need to stay away.
Like, pretty much. And so Mike freaked out and lied to Elle.
Yeah, and he was like, my grandma's sick, I need to... Because they had like a meeting time every day that they would go and make out. Yeah. So she's not feeling great about this relationship. I think she's feeling a little rejected. So Max, her friend, is like, let's go to the mall. Let's get you a new you. New do, new you. Which she is modeling right now. Yeah. So then she's like, Mike, I dump your ass. Go, Elle, I guess.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I was happy for her because she was being, like, independent.
But Mike was, like...
I felt bad for Mike because, well, Mike shouldn't have lied.
That's true, but then it's like he's stuck between, like, Hopper, like, who just, like...
has a gun.
Yeah. Like, basically threatened him, and then Elle, and he's like, I don't know what to do.
And he's young. He doesn't know.
That's a cute storyline, I guess. Like, Hopper, the overprotective father. Like, I get it. But, speaking of Hopper, Hopper and Joyce there's something kind of, like, developing there.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that. Like, so did he first have feelings for her, but she didn't quite?
That's what I think.
Yeah, right? And
then, it seemed that way.
Yeah.
He was pursuing her, it seemed like.
She stood him up, right?
Yeah, because she wanted to go to the kid's science teacher, Mr. Clark, to figure out why things were demagnetizing.
Yes.
Yeah. And she's just not even thinking about the fact that she just stood him up. But
did she know it was a date? That's what I didn't know. Like, I don't think she's kind of clueless.
She's very distracted.
She's like one track mind. The magnets.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know. But then Billy, our eye candy of the season, he's not looking good. He's looking a little rough. He reports back to duty, and he looks like he has the worst hangover
He's a little
ever.
Sweaty and pale.
A little rough. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, clammy.
Cold and clammy. Eat some candy. Sorry. And so he's there, and people are like, Billy, you okay?
He's like wearing like a sweatshirt and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, hot.
You cold, bro? Anyway, so one of the other lifeguards, Heather, goes to check on him, and she's like, Billy, are you okay? And he has some weird, like, flash thing where she's like, take me to your leader. But she didn't really say that. And then he, like, takes her and, like, kidnaps her.
No.
End of episode 2. Okay, so what's that about? I don't know. Episode 3, here we go, is called The Case of the Missing Lifeguard, which is Heather, obviously. So Elle and Max are, like, you know, being besties, and they decide to spy on Mike and Lucas. So she goes back and what is that world where it's all black and all she can see is like the people?
Oh, so when she blindfolds herself,
yes,
and there has bleeds. To be water. There has to be water. Does there be water?
There was water. She was in a bathtub.
Yeah, that's how she gets to go. Like when she needs to look for something, it's like a homing device, or tactic strategy. Yes.
So she's still practicing that whole thing, right?
She's goofing around with it, though. She's not supposed to mess with it just to, like,
use it for good.
Not to see what your boyfriend and his best friend are doing.
Which are obviously, like, gross boy stuff.
But, I mean, they're preteens, so I guess they're gonna mess with their powers.
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, I probably would do that if I had powers, too.
Maybe a little bit. Yeah. But she does use her powers for good because she spies on Billy, which is where she sees Heather stuck in a bathtub saying, help me. But what's really crazy is he can see Elle. Usually when she goes into this world, she can see what's going on. But he, like, looks back and looks her straight in the eye. And she's like, wait, what?
What? Yeah.
So that's new. That I did not expect.
No.
But I liked it. I want to talk about Will. Poor Will. Okay, look, just a side note. Will just wants to play D&D. And Lucas is like, I love Max, and Mike's like, I love Elle, and Will's like, so you guys ready to play D&D? Or like, I got my little wizard costume on, you guys want to go into this campaign, or whatever they call it? And they don't want to, they've moved on, and it's like so sad, because Will just wants to be the little kid that they always have been.
I feel like that's so, like, high school. Like, it's like what, or middle school, high school, like, what's going to happen is that people are going to develop at different speeds, and somebody's going to be like, moving on to, like, the sexual.
Yeah, it happened.
Poor Will. I mean, and he's been through so much. I can see why he doesn't want to, like,
move on. Yeah.
He wants that D&D time that he missed.
He missed a lot when he was in the Upside Down.
Like, the whole series started with him missing.
It was like the case of the missing Will Byers or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's like, hey, guys.
He, like, goes back to his little, like, Camp Byers or whatever, the little tent that he has in the woods. And that was really good acting, by the way, by that kid. Seriously. When he was, like, looking at pictures of them when they were little, and he's like, I'm so stupid. And it was like,
I know.
A little baby, I just wanted to hold him. Yeah, so I think he figured out, like, yeah, we're not little kids anymore. Like, we gotta grow up sometime. Yeah. So, okay. But I just wanted to point that out because that was very moving. That was a very touching part of it. Yeah. So, let's see. Let's go back to Dustin and Steve. Okay. And Robin, of course. They're still, like, talking about the whole Russians and all that fun stuff going on in the mall. And, basically, they figure she cracks the code.
Yes.
Leave it to Robin to crack the code.
Brilliant.
The whole silver cat thing is like, there's like a logo on someone's shirt who's delivering something. And then something about a trip to China is the Chinese food restaurant.
Fast food.
And then yellow and blue meet in the West. It's the clock.
I know. She's brilliant.
It is. Tread Lightly is a shoe store.
Yes.
Come on. That was really good.
Smart girl.
I was really impressed by her. Yeah. And then our little investigators, Nancy and Jonathan, with the whole post thing, the Hawkins post, they want to go back to Mrs. Driscoll's house to test the rat. Yeah. They're like, clearly we'll get some blood work and then we'll know.
Because it was all crazy.
Yeah. So when they go back to her house, this is freaky. Mrs. Driscoll is eating fertilizer. What?
It was like crazy.
She was like, rabbit. Yeah. It was terrifying, actually. That's not weird, right? That's totally normal. Okay, so obviously something's up, and we know that there's rats involved, and fertilizer, apparently, chemicals
is important.
Yeah. Okay, so we're trying to put things together here.
People.
Yeah, exactly. That's why this show is so fun.
Yes, because we want to know what happens
and
next.
Strange at the same time.
Yes.
Stranger Things. Okay, nailed that. So, okay. Let's go back to Hopper and Joyce, because Joyce is like, after she had talked to the science teacher, she's like, okay, the science teacher says that, like, there's a big force field that's demagnetizing all this stuff. I think it's the lab. No, not the lab. Yeah, the lab. The Hawkins lab. So her and Hopper go back to the lab that was closed down. She has a flashback of when Bob died.
Yeah, that was so sad.
That was really sad.
I know,
but they go back there, and this freaking, like, 7-foot-tall Russian dude who scares the crap out of me and reminds me of the Terminator.
I have to say,
I totally thought Terminator when I saw it.
One of the few things I disliked about this season was how much he was like the Terminator.
Did they do that on purpose?
Had to be.
Is Terminator from the 80s?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Totally.
They throw in a lot of 80s stuff. So.
And of course, that's like one of the things I love about the show is all the 80s references. But I kind of felt it was like a little bit too on the nose.
Okay.
Too much.
I could see
I was
that.
like, he was totally Terminator.
Yeah.
He like barely talked. He wore almost the same thing, same hair.
Chiseled jawline.
It was a little bit too much. Like,
I guess I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't know. It just kind of bugged me. That was the only thing.
I didn't notice, but I did notice a lot of 80s reference, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
80s is all over the place. I'm okay. I love the 80s.
We get it.
Yeah.
We get it.
Like a little twist. I just wanted 80s with a twist.
Oh, with a twist. Seasoning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Give him blonde hair. I don't care.
Yeah.
Drogify him.
Totally.
No Drago.
Okay. But anyway, so this big, tall Russian guy whose name is Grigory?
Oh. I just could only call him Arnold. But go ahead.
The Terminator.
Yes.
At this point, it's the Terminator. You guys will know what we're talking about. So the Terminator and Hopper have a scuffle, and Terminator beats the crap out of him. And then leaves on his little motorcycle.
Yes.
And Joyce is like, well, I got part of the license plate. And he's like, yeah, great. Yeah. That says nothing. But anyway. And then another thing to note about this episode is that Max and Elle go to Heather's house, the missing lifeguard, name of the episode, to figure out what's going on. Because they find like a bloody whistle at Billy's room.
In her trash or something?
Yeah, what's
happening?
Yeah, so they go there, and like much to their surprise, there's Heather and Billy like smiling away like, hey, what's up, girls? What's going on? But like, no, like we just saw him all disheveled. Why are you acting normal? And like Susie Homemaker, Heather, like meet my parents.
Very suspicious.
It was weird.
It was definitely like
something's up.
Some type of like invaders, space invaders type thing.
Right, but Billy does give Elle a look like, I know you. What are you doing here? But anyway, they're like, they scope it out, they leave. It's fine. Yeah. Well, then a little bit of hell breaks loose, and then Heather grabs a wine bottle and hits her head, or hits the mom's head and dad's head with it, right? Yeah, knocks them out, and we're like, what you doing to your parents there, Heather? What's going on? Well, obviously, they're being controlled by something.
Is she Heather? Probably not.
Probably not. No. She's been turned.
Heather wouldn't do that to her
dad.
No.
She's like, sorry, Daddy. It's creepy.
It was so creepy.
Yeah. No, he turned her, she turned them.
Yes.
But for why?
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
For why?
No, not.
I don't know.
I don't understand yet.
But,
For why?
But for what?
What?
It's really
Pourquoi?
¿Por qué? Okay. So, okay. Let's go on to episode 4. Okay? Episode 4 is called The Sauna Test. I forgot why it was called The Sauna Test.
I get it now. It's hot in here, by the way.
It feels like we're in a sauna right now. It's the costumes. But they're awesome. So, okay. So we have Mrs. Driscoll is off at the hospital, and she's like freaking out. Her heart rate's going high. The veins are popping out. Like, something's wrong with you. Obviously, you ate fertilizer. You're not normal. And then Heather's parents are like bound in that little abandoned building. And then like this creature that we're going to call the Mind Flayer, because that's who he is.
That's who he is.
We find out. That's the Mind Flayer. The Mind Flayer like turns them, or he's like, so they're presented to them.
He like...
Just imagine that.
Yes,
like Tremors, like the movie Tremors.
You know, like what Stranger Things always reminds me of the 80s type movies is like Aliens, like that type of horror, like just like creepy, gross stuff that sucks you up.
Yes. So he's mind controlling.
He's flaying their minds, but more than their minds, even.
It's like their body, like flay.
Like,
it's gross, guys. Like, if you're really squeamish, don't watch this.
Or watch it with your eyes, like, covered.
Just listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, now the whole gang is on to this at this point. Yes. So, they're like, something's up. Well, obviously Will's like they're back. Like something's happening. Yeah,
he feels it in his neck.
Yeah, and he's like, okay, there's obviously like a host of some sort. Like they put it together. It makes sense. It totally makes sense. Yeah, and then
just trust us. It does.
If you watch it, you'll understand. Because the rat thing, Nancy's great. They call her Nancy Drew. Because they're making fun of her, but it's actually appropriate.
It's true, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's good detective work.
Reporter detective.
Yeah.
Investigative reporter.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so the kids are like, okay, something's going on. Great. Yes. Yeah, we figured that out. So Hopper now goes to the Mayor Klein, Carrie Elway's, Princess Bride, and he's like, are you talking to the Russians, man? Like, what's going on? And he basically blackmails him. How he puts it together, I don't really know. It all makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
At some point. But anyway,
in true 80s fashion, the Russians are just bad. It doesn't really make too much sense.
Were the Russians bad in the 80s?
Well, in the 80s, we just blamed the Russians for everything.
Oh, that was just the easy thing to do.
Yes.
When in doubt, blame the Russians.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So at this point, we have assembled 2 teams. There's the Starcourt team, and then there's the field team. Right? So we have Dustin, Steve, Robin, Erica, and they're at the Starcourt Mall, and then everybody else, all the other kids, they're all out in the field. Right. So it's time to go to battle.
Yes.
Okay. So at this point they already cracked the code, so now they're all like waiting and perched and watching the delivery people for like the Chinese store. I don't know. They're scoping things out, and they see like guys that are heavily armed. Why do you have to be heavily armed to like deliver food products?
That seems suspicious.
Something's going on.
To deliver Chinese food.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. No, it's not that spicy. Yeah. So anyway, so that's happening over there. But then the name of this episode is the sauna test. So that's because the field team, Al, Mike, Lucas, Max, yeah, they trap Billy into a sauna because apparently the mind flayers like to be cold.
They have a theory.
They have a theory because in that vision, Heather was in a bath of ice. So they're like...
And Will knows.
Oh, yes.
As well.
Right.
Because, yeah.
So they're like, let's heat him up. Let's cook this guy and see what happens. That was very scary.
It was very scary.
Billy in the sauna.
Yeah. I was like, oh, Billy, but don't hurt Billy.
No, not Billy. I was just starting to like you. But it gets weird and gross and veiny.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh wait, you're not Billy.
Yeah, and then, this is where we get to see Elle use her powers, which are like super cool, and I swear she's gonna pop a vein at some point. But then he escapes.
Yeah.
So that didn't do much.
Yeah. But they proved their theory. He wanted to get out of there because he was...
Yeah, because he's part of
taken over.
Right, and Will did the whole thing where he feels the back of his neck. He's like, oh, he's here. Okay, oh, we got it. Okay, confirm, check, let's fight. And that's pretty much episode 4, guys. So we are halfway through. So now things are going to start to get crazy because episode 5 is called The Flayed. And I'm not talking Bobby Flay. I'm talking about Mind Flayer Flayed.
In case we didn't understand what was happening to all these people, we're about to understand.
Yeah. This is gross.
It really is.
Okay, something weird happens with Team Starcourt, Team Ahoy, whatever you want to call them.
Team Ahoy.
They discover this elevator that like drops them 500 feet below of some sort. I don't know. Anyway, they end up in where the Russians are.
Well, I love how they get Erica involved.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Lucas's little sister who had like a minor role in season 2.
Right.
And everyone fell so much in love with her that the Duffer brothers were like, we need to bring her back.
She's cute.
So they find such a brilliant way to bring her back, which she's like the only one small enough because she's younger to fit through the vents. So brilliant.
To spy on the Russians.
Yes. She's like crawling through the vents.
It was perfect.
I love it.
Yeah, so I want to talk about another new character, though, because I'm really excited about this one, because he's so cute. Alexi. Remember Alexi? Yeah. So Joyce and Hopper find Alexi at Hess Farm, and there's like another Russian, and then the Terminator somehow is there again, but they take Alexi and they go to Illinois. Illinois, because I don't know why they're going to Illinois. But Alexi, so he's this Russian guy, only speaks Russian. He's got little like 80s glasses, little curly hair, cute like animated face. Cute little face. Anyway, they take him to Illinois to meet up with Murray. Murray, some more comic relief. He's the guy, I don't know, he's Hopper's friend. He's very paranoid.
Conspiracy theorist. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, but he speaks Russian, so...
That's why they went there.
Yeah, that's the reason.
There you go.
So, it's really funny because Alexi's character, he loves Slurpees, and he loves Looney Tunes.
So, basically, he is like
so
a Russian,
so cute,
but he's kind of infatuated with American culture.
Yep.
And so they basically use that weakness to like bring him over to their side.
Yeah. But didn't you like kind of like fall in love with him a little bit?
Yeah,
in that way, in the sweet endearing way.
Like
yeah.
Strawberry Slurpee.
He wanted a strawberry. He didn't want cherry, and there's a big difference. And he was like, I'm not going to help you, Hopper, you know, in Russian, unless you give me the right Slurpee. But then he like called his bluff, and anyway, that was really cute because we got to meet the cute little Russian dude, yeah. But anyway, so Steve, Dustin, Robin, and Erica, they make contact with the Russians. They discover there's a new lab with the portal to the Upside Down. Uh-oh. It was supposed to be closed, but as Alexi so eloquently explains, it wasn't closed. It was just a wound that was healing. So you can still open the wound that's healing. Oh.
Really?
Well done. I was like, how are you going to explain this? We can't keep opening this portal. Yes, we can.
It was very scab-like.
It was.
Wasn't it? It just like
woundish. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a lot of stuff's going down. It was a lot. Oh, but the most action-packed sequence of them all is when Nancy and friends go to the hospital to find Mrs. Driscoll. Remember, she was nuts.
Yes.
And that's where Tom, Heather's dad, who's now been turned, is there.
Yes.
And Jake Busey, sorry, I don't know. That's the actor. But he's the guy who's very sexist, and he works at the paper with them. Mm-hmm. And they're all, like, crazy and trying to get her. And the Mind Flayer, he comes up, and he almost gets her, and Jonathan's protecting her, and it's a lot.
Yes. And they're, like, hiding from him.
And they're gross.
So, the newspaper men they have already been flayed.
Yes, so they're gone.
They are one with the Flayer.
They are one with the flayed.
Flayed, yeah. They've been flayed.
Yeah. So that's where that episode leaves us. So now we are going to episode 6, which is E pluribus unum. Is that Latin? Isn't that our motto or something? Is that on a coin?
Oh, it's like on a dollar bill or something?
Sure.
Out of many one. From many one.
Like the flayed.
Yes.
So they're turning all these people, and then these people like turn into, well, I don't know, flayed people.
Well, first of all, let's just describe what actually happens. They burble up into bubbly flesh.
It's gross.
Liquidy bubbly flesh. Yes. Like let's say I'm a person and this is a person. I bubble up into flesh, and then I merge into one
big
monster.
Yes.
That is uber scary.
Absolutely.
And it sucks faces.
Yeah. So they're building an army of flayed. The flayed army, if I may.
If you will.
Yeah.
Out of many one.
Yes. Right. Okay, so I like this because it reminded me of the Demogorgon.
Yes.
Which we all know from season 1, right? So it's like, it's kind of keeping in like the same kind of a monster style.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are related, aren't they? They must be, because they're from the same Upside Down, are they not?
They have to be.
They have to be.
Yeah. Keeps on your toes, that's for sure. So, hey, so let's check in with Robin and Steve. Robin. Yes. Remember, they're down there with the elevator, and they get caught by the Russians.
Yes.
And they're held captive.
Yes.
Oh, God. That was crazy.
That was terrible, and they're, like, drugged up.
They drugged them to get them to tell the truth.
Yes.
But the drugs were good.
The drugs were good.
Because they were high.
They were high, and this was some of the best comic relief of the whole season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were really funny, those two actors, by the way. Yeah, that was super funny. They were just, like, saying everything and anything that they shouldn't. Didn't they, like, give away Dustin's, like, home address? They're like, yeah, whatever, man. This is good stuff.
And we'd learned, like, that they knew each other back in high school. Oh. And, like, she says, like, oh, you sat next to me in class and you don't even know who I am.
It was a very vivid recollection.
Mm-hmm. And he was like, nope.
What he ate in class, how his stupid hair. Yeah. And she flat out admitted that she was obsessed with him. And we're like, what do you mean?
And we know that he has been developing a little crush on her because through his talks with Dustin, he's like Oh.
Dustin's like Team Robin. He's like, go for Robin.
Yeah, and she's like, you don't remember me from high school, do you? And he's like, who are you? Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, but she did admit that she was obsessed with him. Okay. Yes. Cool. That's exciting because I love, I love love. I love the love interest. Anyway, so, okay, she goes and visits Billy. This is very sad. Okay, so she's like thrust into this memory of him that he had with his mom. Yes. This was a very touching moment because Billy is a bad guy. Okay, well, not like the Mind Flayer or Demogorgon, but he's like, a jerk.
Like a bully.
He's a bully. Billy the bully.
From season 2 when we met him, not a good guy.
No.
Mean to his sister.
Right, exactly. So we see this memory of him as a little boy on the beach with his mom, and it's so sweet, and she's like encouraging him to like go surfing or something like that. And you get to see Billy as like, a nice human being. Yeah. And you see where it all went wrong for him. Yeah. And it made me like actually feel for him.
I feel
Don't
the same
do
way.
that to me.
I get it. They did a good job of that, though.
It explains why Billy is the way he is. Yeah. So then, all of a sudden, Elle's, like, lost in between worlds. So, because she was at, like, Hopper's house where she's living. And then she went into Billy's memory. But then she's, like, stuck in between. In limbo. And Billy's like, we know about you. And she's like, we know. Because she's like, Mike? Because, all her friends were there. And he's like, yeah, we can see what you're up to, and we're all coming together for you. So, like, she's like, wait, what? So, this army of flayed people are coming to get Elle, because she's very much in the know about them, because she can travel to the other world to see them. Yeah.
They know that she, like, closed the portal.
Right, exactly. So, they're assembling this army to get Elle. Okay.
That's scary.
Got it. We know what's going on. This episode for me did seem to drag a little bit. Like, there was a lot of, like, filler moments. It probably could have been condensed a little bit, but still good. Okay. Yes. I give it to you. So, with that being said, I'm going to go on to episode 7, which is called The Bite.
Oh, jeez.
What? Yes. Okay, so, I get it. We're building the army to stop Elle, and they're on their way. Steve and Robin are high. It's fine. Elle and friends are battling the Mind Flayer. Mind Flayer almost takes Elle out.
That scene in the, like, cabin when Nancy, she's pretty badass.
Yeah, she's fearless.
Yeah, with that shotgun.
Yeah. Yeah, because the Mind Flayer, like, well, Elle is trying her hardest to, like, keep him away, and it was very cool. But, yeah, no, Nancy comes to the rescue, shoots it. But Elle does get bit. Yes. The bite that we're talking about. She gets bit in the lower leg by the creature. Yes. So, I don't know what's going to happen with that. But anyway, Alexei, who I just love. He's so adorable. Cute. He, by the way, is a Ukrainian-British actor. I looked him up because I love him so much. So he really does speak Russian. So he's like, fine, I'll tell you where the key is. There's like these keys you have to turn to like to close that little portal. So but he says he does mention something about having to enter the code, which is Planck's constant. Constant. Math nerds or geniuses out there, what's Planck's constant? Had you ever heard of it before?
I had never heard of it before, but
I've heard of Pythagorean theorem.
Yes. I've heard of pi.
Okay. But Planck's constant. That threw me a little bit. I was like, is this something I should know?
I was like, how nerdy do you have to be?
Well, I don't know.
Quite.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, you guys, this is episode 7. There's only 8 episodes, so it's getting down to business here. So the kids are getting ready for battle. Mike and Elle make up, basically. He basically admits he's in love with her. Yeah. She doesn't really get what love is, I don't think. So Dustin makes contact with Mike, because they've kind of been separate teams at this point, but they're like, hey, I'm here. Steve and Robin, in their high mental state, kind of wander off away from Erica and Dustin. Erica's supposed to be watching them. And then they throw up, and they're kind of coming to a little bit. And so this is confession time, guys. Yes. I like this. Yes. This is a really good scene. So this is where Steve admits to having feelings for Robin, which I've been kind of waiting for the whole season, because he's all about, like, the, like, you know, like, hot chicks, popular chicks, and she wasn't one of the hot, well, she's hot. She's not a popular chick. Yeah. And so what's so cool, and I didn't see this coming. This was such a total surprise.
Before you go there, though, can I set the scene?
Yeah.
Because they're, like, on the bathroom floor.
So romantic.
With toilets.
Sexy.
And just, like, hanging out on the toys. And amidst this whole touching thing that you're about to talk about,
yes,
I just can't help but tell them to stop leaning on the toilets in my brain. Tell me you didn't think the same thing.
I didn't think the same thing, but no, now I am. I'm thinking it now.
They're on the bathroom
floor. That's gross.
In the movie theater.
They just threw up.
They threw up. And who else did what near there?
That's the mom in you. Very good. Very good. I'm impressed. I didn't think of it, but no, I like it. I like where your head's at.
Very well done because I was still moved.
I was enthralled. I was in it. I was in the conversation.
I get it.
Because...
Yes.
He just said, I think I have feelings for you. And she's like, remember when I talked to you about, like, being obsessed with you? Well, this girl really liked you. And I just wanted her to notice me.
Yeah.
Robin, what are you saying? And then he's like, I don't understand. That's a girl. And she's like, yeah, Steve. And he's like, oh, you liked the girl that liked me. That's why you're obsessed with me. Because she's like, why do you like him? He leaves bagel crumbs on the floor. And he's an idiot. A dingus is what she always calls him. Yeah. So we learn a little bit more about Robin, which makes her even more interesting.
It was really good. That scene, I teared up a little bit in that scene. I was like, well done. And yet you're amongst the toilet.
Yeah.
I know. I just was like...
Still obsessed with the toilet.
You're making me cry, even though you're...
it's so gross. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, but that was cool, because I didn't see that coming.
Totally, yep.
You got us there.
You got us.
Okay.
Good job.
Yeah, so now back to Elle. Remember, you guys, she got bit, so her lower leg is bleeding. Yeah. And when they go and leave, the little blood pile turns into like a little mini mind flayer.
Burbles. It burbles like the other stuff.
I like your choice of word. Burble.
It like burble bubbles.
It rhymes with gerbil. All right. Well, anyway, so there's this fair going on held by the mayor, Mayor Klein, Carrie Elwes, and Alexi and Murray, the guy who's like the translator. They're kind of bonding. It's really cute. Yeah. And he's like in Russian, of course. Alexi's like, oh, these carnival games are rigged. And he's like, oh, are they? Anyway, he ends up like winning a big, what is it? Woody Woodpecker or something? A stuffed animal? Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. But then, thanks a lot, Duffer Brothers, he gets shot by the Terminator.
Of course. Charming Alexi.
And he was so happy.
He was like, yeah, but like, you know what killed him? His love of American culture.
Oh no.
I know. He was just like, oh yes, Slurpees. Oh yes, Carnival. The games are not rigged.
He was so happy. He died happy. He died doing what he loved. That's why I'm going to spin it, because I really liked that character. So, he's dead. Anyway. And they're at the carnival, and Hopper and Joyce somehow end up, like, holding hands. It was kind of random. Remember that ride?
Yes. The Gravitron!
Yeah!
So one of the things I loved about that whole scene was, like, they had those throwback rides, like Gravitron, that I totally remember from
You remember?
Yeah. I mean, they still have, like, a version of that today, but, like, classic Gravitron, totally 80s.
Really? Okay. Well, after that, though, that's all cute and everything. And then there's still, like, a gunfight with the Russians.
In the funhouse.
In the funhouse with the mirrors and stuff like that. Yeah, so... Hopper shoots the Terminator, and I'm thinking, great, let's take another Russian out. No, he's like a bulletproof vest on. I
just kept waiting for metal to be under his face.
That would have been amazing. But no. So Hopper gets away, and Joyce and Murray, and they drive away, and Hopper's like, where's Alexi? And Joyce's face is like, no, he didn't make it. It's so sad. I'm not over it yet. Anyway, so Elle shows up with everybody, and the whole gang is back together again at last at the mall.
The battle
begins. Yeah, so speaking of the battle begins, this is episode 8. This is the season finale called The Battle of Starcourt. Okay, so this episode was just full of, battle sequences. Yeah, exactly. Hopper, Joyce, and Murray are on their way to the mall because they know something's up. And Jonathan, okay, this is gross. Because remember, Elle has that cut on her leg, and you see things moving under her skin. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry about that. It's gross.
It's gross.
Jonathan steps up to the plate. He's like, I'm going to cut this creature out. It was a little much for him. Looks like he's like he's gagging. And so Elle's like, no, I got this. Uses her power, sucks that little guy out. And then the little guy gets away, and then Hopper steps on him. And I like that because, again, it's like the whole main cast is together in the Starcourt Mall.
Yes.
So then they're like, everyone's together, and they're devising a plan. Like, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. It's a whole big thing. The Ahoy team heads for the hills. Why did they head for the hills again?
Dustin, the hills, the tower, Susie.
Got it. Okay. So let's not forget that. Okay. So basically, everybody's got like their role, and so there's some people hiding from the mind flayer in like the little, I don't know, mall area.
Well, and then Hopper and Joyce are gonna go turn off the thing.
And Murray is there.
They need to enter the code, Planck's code.
Planck's constant. Yeah. So everybody's got their role to do. So, okay.
Yes. It's a lot happening at one time.
You guys, let me just explain what Planck's constant is. I'm going to tell you what it really is. It's a fundamental constant equal to the energy of a quantum of electromagnetic radiation. So there's that whole magnetic thing that we're talking about. So it's related. It wasn't just a random thing they said, Planck's constant. Right. So it's a number that we're supposed to know, right? So, okay, this is so random. Okay, it was a little weird. So Dustin gets a hold of Susie. So Susie's real.
Yeah.
I thought it was real. Like, I thought she was real.
Well, Hopper and Joyce try to enter the code, but it's not correct, which means that Alexi had it wrong.
Oh, or is it Murray?
Or Murray.
Yeah.
Had it wrong. Right. So then they were like, oh, crap, what do we do? Who would know? And Susie. Then Dustin's like, oh, Susie will know.
Yeah.
Susie, who never answered.
His signal is
in the past from episode 1 didn't answer, but now we're supposed to think that she's going to answer when we go back to the hill.
And she did.
She did, thank goodness.
But she's a little bit of a sassafras, and she won't just give up the number without, this is so random, without her and Dustin doing a duet of Neverending Story.
Yes, it was beautiful.
I'm like wondering if they did this because they're like, hey, all you theater geeks that probably watch this, this is for you. They literally break out into song. What's funny about it though is all the other characters like Erica looking at him while he's singing. I mean, he's into it. Because she's like, I'm not going to give you the number until you do what I love.
It was so cute. Yeah. I mean, okay, so obviously their history together, they must have done this a lot, and it was very adorable.
At camp.
And I just wanted to say to Susie, this is not the time nor the place. Like, there are people about to die.
He said we're trying to save the world.
Yeah, but she didn't understand because, I mean, what? But to her credit, like, how would she know? How would she know about the slaying and all this stuff? And I get it, but, like, time is of the essence. But it was a nice moment, though. I was feeling it in the moment. I was
out into song.
So beautiful.
That's not random at all.
Like a musical, though. That's pretty
I was impatient, and I just wanted to get the number.
Pretty normal for a musical. But this is not a musical.
No! We're trying to save the world here. I liked the little names they had, because Murray was a little bald. He's called Bald Eagle, so Dustin will call him Bald Eagle. Goof Troop was Erica and Dustin, and then the Griswold family was everybody else. Anyway, I just kind of liked that part. So, finally, we get the code.
Yes.
So we're in. Which, by the way, at this point, Hopper and Joyce, who are, like, waiting for the code, they plan a date. Like, an actual official date. Aww. They're gonna go on a date.
Finally.
That's cute. Yes. Yeah, they have some chemistry going on.
Yeah.
So we have them entering the code. So then Joyce and Hopper, there's 2 keys that have to be turned simultaneously. We're like, oh my gosh, they made it. They're gonna do it. No. The Russians break in.
Terminator.
Come on, man. Like, you never die. Just die. Yeah. So we have that. But then we also have the mind flayer who's in the mall. And then...
Okay, in the Gap. The scene in the Gap. First of all, fall into the Gap. Those commercials, they're hiding in the Gap.
Yeah.
That was so good. So suspenseful.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, when he would be like...
Oh, mind flayer got there. Yeah, exactly. So... We also see Billy makes a return. He comes. Yes. He knocks out Max. He knocks out Mike. He takes 11 over his shoulder, and he's, like, gonna, like, feed her to the mind flayer or something. But no. She does, what she does best, and she kind of, like, gets into his mind, and she starts saying, I know you. I saw the memory of you with your mom. Oh, my gosh. This was so...
scene, I know. I was in tears.
Kind of sad, because, like, Billy starts crying, and then, like, it's Billy again. It's not, like, the... artist formerly known as Billy. It's like Billy, and he's like remembering his mom and all the drama that happened when he was taken away from his mom. And then for like a second he stops, and then he protects Elle. He saves Elle Didn't see that coming.
No.
So he protects Elle from the mind flayer and gets, like, stabbed.
Oh, I know.
Oh, why do you do that? I just start to like somebody.
I know. Genius.
Not only for his looks.
It was really so well done. The whole Billy thing.
Yeah.
I just have to say, like, in this season of Stranger Things, I am really impressed with how they made me feel. Because 1 and 2 was, like, cool 80s nostalgia.
1 was great.
Scary. Yeah, like, you know, but it was fun. But this one, like, got you in the heart, man. Like, that Billy trajectory, his story, like, totally. Who could have guessed in season 2 that you would feel bad for Billy?
And think he's hot.
And I think he's hot, because he was
have I mentioned that yet?
Douchey.
Yeah, I know.
Like, not kind of. Like,
no, he's a total bully. So he gets stabbed. So Hopper is now fighting the Terminator out on the little deck, the little bridge where that machine is that's like basically keeping the portal open. Spinning. Yes. And they're like fighting and it's going back and forth. And Joyce is like, you have to turn the 2 keys together.
And they're far apart.
Yeah. He's like out of the room and fighting with this little Russian. He does eventually like push the Russian in this like weird spinning thing.
Yeah.
And then Joyce is there left alone to turn the keys. So she, like, fashions her belt. Like, she, like, I don't know. Like, she does something. It's brilliant.
It is really brilliant.
Good job. But the look that Hopper gives her, because he's not going to make it, is basically what it means. He's like, just turn the keys. And he's like, he smiles. And she's like, it's going to be okay. And she does it, and he's gone. Hopper! Yeah, like, one of the main characters who we love so much. Now, I remember that earlier on, Alexi saying something about when that happens, they turn to dust. Do you remember that?
Oh, I don't.
So did he turn to dust? I don't know.
Well, I would like to say that we don't see what happens to him.
I have a theory, though.
We don't see it. We see nothing.
We don't know exactly what happens, but I have a theory. Do you have a theory?
I do have a theory.
Do you think he threw himself in the portal? I think he jumped into the upside down.
Oh.
Because it was still open. Oh. What's your theory?
I don't know. I just hope he's the American.
Oh, he's just alive. Okay. We're getting to that. Yeah. Okay, so... You guys,
I don't know what happened.
Saved. We did it. She did it. Joyce did it. And Billy, that was so sad. So Max goes over to her big mean brother, Billy, and the last thing he says to her is, I'm sorry. Because he was so mean to her. And then he dies. Yeah, so Billy's dead. It was really sad in the whole aftermath of when Elle's looking for Hopper, her dad, adopted dad, and Joyce kind of looks at her like, he didn't make it. Oh, come on, man.
It's not okay.
I didn't want Hopper to die.
He's not dead.
Billy can die.
He's not dead.
Hopper can...
What are you talking about?
That's exactly
I don't even know what show you're watching. It's not the same show.
No, it's not going to happen. So then they say 3 months later, and the Byers are moving. Where are they moving to? They never actually say. They're just moving.
I mean, she talked about wanting to get away because obviously, like... It's been a bad time for the Byers.
Not doing well in Hawkins.
So, yeah.
Trying to get out of Indiana.
Now that, like, more has happened, she's like, you know what? I'm done.
Yeah. So she's taking Elle with her, though.
I like that.
That's really cute. So we also get to see that, like, her powers are a little bit weak. She says, I love you back to Mike.
Aww.
So cute. But she also finds a letter from Hopper, her dad. This is the only scene that actually made me have tears in my eyes. Because she's reading this letter, and this letter is very touching because it's actually just like a typical letter from a typical father to his daughter about growing up. I have to let you grow up.
Gosh.
I have to let you move on. Because this was supposed to be the heart-to-heart talk.
This was the heart-to-heart.
Yeah.
That he was supposed to have, and instead he threatened.
Right. So she reads this letter about him, I have to let you go, like, let you grow up. It's very sweet. So then that's it. But then, the credits roll, and that's the end, and you're like, oh my gosh, I need a drink. Something. I need to recover from this season. And then we're back in Russia in like a Russian prison. And then you have to read the subtitles. I hate reading. Come on, Duffer Brothers, enough. I don't want to read anymore. But we see that something about they're going to go get a prisoner. And they're like, no, not the American prisoner. But we don't see the American prisoner.
No. There's people guessing who is this American. I immediately thought it's Hopper.
It's Hopper.
Yes.
Please let it be Hopper.
It has to be Hopper. Because we didn't see him die.
Right.
And, they're taking people to, like, feed to somebody, right?
That is the last thing we see, is that one of the Russian prisoner, he gets stuck in the cage with a Demogorgon. The very original monster that started this whole Stranger Things thing. And that's it.
So the speculation is it could be upset. Hopper.
It's Hopper.
It has to be.
Okay, can it just be Hopper?
It has to be Hopper.
Come on.
But I also gotta go back to that moment that made you cry, because it didn't just make me cry. I was like bawling.
It was so sweet.
It was so good. That letter was so well. It was just good.
Yeah.
So good. It was just so.
I know. Way to end the season.
He's not dead. There's no way.
That is the end of season 3 of Stranger Things. I applaud you. That was really good. About, I don't know, episode 5 or 6, I was like, yeah, it's okay, it's mediocre. But then by the end of it, I think I called you and I was like, that was so good.
I'm okay with that they took so long.
Yeah.
Because I think the extra time that they took to write it out made us feel.
Yeah.
For Billy, for Hopper, for Alexi.
Yeah.
All that stuff was so good.
So much fun. What a ride. We hope you all enjoyed this ride. Yeah, and I can't wait for Stranger Things season 4. You know it's coming. So, you know, stay tuned. Might be a year, but we'll do a review of that season as well. Thanks for hanging out with us. Goodbye, everybody. Ahoy.